So you want to make money with your app, but the problem is that if you just start off with OpenClaw, you face a problem very quickly where you talk to your agent, but your agent is an okay coder, right? And there's a lot of things that you want to fine tune, especially when it comes to user interface, when it comes to integrating money making solutions, right? So to make those big bucks, unfortunately, you do have to touch a little bit of code, but not in the programming sort of way, but more like the vibe coding sort of way. Right. So today we're gonna do a video on KiloCode, which I find is one of the easiest ways to get started. So KiloCode, it looks intimidating, right?
What's the difference between KiloCode and Claude Code?
Exactly. So this is a really good topic to cover because these are both tools that are very powerful for editing code. Professionals use it. Like say KiloCode, it has 1.5 million users. Claude Code around the same, but I would say the biggest difference with KiloCode is that it's open source and you can start a lot easier. So say, for example, this is just loaded up with KiloCode right now. You can already use free plans. So which is why I think this is probably going to be one of the earlier videos. Like if you're on your journey, you're not really sure what's going on, KiloCode provides you with basically a bunch of free tools you can use. And the best part is that you can bring your own model inside. So in this video, we're going to also show you my setup a little bit, where I bring my Minimax 2.7 key inside. I can start using this at full power, but at the same time, I'm not, spending bajillions of dollars. I'm not forking out my wallet. Here's my wallet. Scan it, right? So this is a great way for you to get started. And the great thing about this is like, even though it looks intimidating, it's not, because you're really just talking to an agent. So it's kind of like, in many ways, it's like talking to Stark, like our OpenClaw agent. But because it's focused on coding, it doesn't get distracted by everything else. I think that's the easiest way to start that off.
Okay.
All right. Have you done this before? I mean, Ron, let's just take a quick step back. You started a little bit, but you haven't done too much coding, right?
Well, not at all. Like originally when I started with OpenClaw, I assumed they already have coding capabilities. And so basically I told them to...
Yeah, because you did a few trading things too about this too, right?
Yeah.
You did a few trading things, but I think what the problem you encountered was that it was all... You're kind of always communicating with your agent, like, oh, modify this, but it's still with your agent and you're not in a coding environment, I would say, right?
Yeah, most certainly. And I noticed that after learning about coding tools such as Claude Code and now with KiloCode, is your OpenClaw agent, when you're speaking to it in Discord, is more like a middle person, right? Whereas if you go directly into Claude Code or KiloCode, you're actually interacting with the coding agent.
Yeah, the developer. Yeah. You're kind of speaking to a developer, and there's kind of a few tools there that we'll show you guys that makes your life a little bit easier. So it looks intimidating, but in many ways it's not. So let's say, for example, just very quickly, I'll run this in the background and you show me. First, understand my code and tell me what it's using and how it's built. So this is using the Xiaomi free model. We'll just see how good the free model is, but it just hops up. It actually is very good in the sense that I'm just gonna move my face a little bit so I don't clog it up. But it actually tells you what tokens how many tokens you use and how much you spent. But the lucky thing here is because it's a free model, you're not using anything. So this is kind of KiloCode. I'll go over why you want to use it in a sec, but I me. I love to jump right in. Right. So this is kind of really important for any project that you want to deploy or let other users to use, where you want the coding agent to have a very good understanding, very good thorough understanding of what you're doing and what your code is, and then for it to create documentation so other coding agents can come in and do just as good of a job.
Yeah. All
right. For this example, for this project, what we're going to show you guys is the Box Mining AI website. So what we did is we wanted since this site was for you guys, and you guys said, hey, it's very hard to find your videos. Then what I thought was like, why don't I make a website to link all the videos together? So say, for example, you double click the model tier list. It gives you the video that about the tier list, but it also gives you the actual tier list you can play around with and try out each individual model. The same thing goes for, like, say, for example, Telegram. If you want to connect your Telegram bot up, you can double click this if it actually works. Well, if it doesn't work, it's even better because we can fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't work, so we're going to fix that in a sec. And Yeah, perfect. This is a good example. So you can click this button, case studies, and I'll show you the case studies, right? But obviously you'll run into bugs where bugs are very specific and tied to a specific project. So say, for example, we have like minor bugs here where it's not showing anything for security. I double click the Telegram button, it doesn't work. This is something that's really good for KiloCode to tackle. You can also say it's good for KiloCode. I'll do a comparison in a sec. But something like this is really great for KiloCode to tackle because they're very, very specific down to a certain feature, a subset feature, and even for some very minor details. We kind of skinned this to look like Windows 95. It's not Windows 95, but I thought the nostalgia was there. But even little things like, say for example, what was broken before was if you click case studies, it'll close the window when it shouldn't. So these things are, I would say, nearly impossible for your OpenCloud agent to go there, but it's actually quite critical for the use case, right? So if you guys come in and you guys click around and you're like, oh, I click on learning paths and it doesn't work, I'm not loading anything up here, and that would be very, very bad, right? So this is a situation where we really want to be on top of the game of our code, and that's where KiloCode really shines.
Right now, this OpenClaw agent of yours, Quill, is running KiloCode.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't really matter where you run it, and you can also run it. So right now we're running it on command, and we're running a virtual server. The reason why I do this is also sometimes I have brilliant ideas in the middle of the night, and I want to run some things. But okay, let me just show you first. It's a little bit slow. I'm not going to use the free one for now, and I'm just going to switch over. This is the magic of switching over, but I'm switching over to another instance where CD box 95 KiloCode. I'm gonna run it with Minimax.
Okay.
All right. The reason why I use Minimax is so you can just go here, model. And because I brought my own Minimax key with the coding plan, so this is part of the package. So I can do 15,000 requests every 6 hours, which is more than enough, right? So, and what's kind of interesting here is that there's a tab. You can tab to go between different modes. So let's say, for example, there's a dedicated debug mode, or there's a planning mode, and there's an ask mode. So let's say, for example, we want to debug and say, if I click the Telegram mini icon in the task bar, it should bring up a folder for Telegram, but it's not showing up. So this is something that, yet again, because I'm doing a video, I'm not going for super in-depth, but you can give it, the more you give it information, the better it will be. I generally find that the paid models will think a little bit faster. It needs to understand what it's doing. So what's kind of good about this is that it takes you through the process of what it's thinking. So it says, oh, it first understand how the taskbar works, which is exactly what it needs to do.
Yeah.
When you talk to something like your Claude Code agent, it just gives you the result. You're hoping for the best, that something's going to work, right? Okay. But when you're talking to something like KiloCode, it's going to tell you kind of what it's thinking and going through the components and the folders to make it work.
I see.
And also the great thing here is you have less context. So as you guys know, especially when it comes to Minimax, the more context it uses, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to use, you want to monitor this and then know that if you're towards the end of your context, just load a new window. Right. So now it's going through the debug process. And this is kind of the, for better and for worse, this is how real life, debugging works, right? You kind of go through and trying to find bugs and try to isolate bugs. It is painful. Money is not easy to make. I think that there's a lot of people, on the internet, say, oh, I made $30,000 with a Polygon trading, like Polymarket trading bot. It takes a lot. It's not like, oh, set up there's still a refinement process, and this is what it's good for. So now it's checking through the schema, it's going through the super base and trying to fix that problem, right? So this is kind of how a debug cycle will work in real life. And I guess right now, since it's actually already happening, it actually found the structure, so it's actually not bad. There's actually also a lot of interesting parts. I would say there's two parts that are very different that KiloCode offers right out the bat.
Mhm.
So one is Orchestrator mode. So this is when you want to do something fast, right? So if you change to Orchestrator mode, you can say, okay, send out a bunch of agents. You're the orchestrator. Send a bunch of agents out and just clean up this task for me. This is very similar to sub agents in Cloud Code, but they have a dedicated mode for it. So I feel like it's a little bit cleaner. Oh, we'll do the comparison in a sec, but it's like, this is like, if you want to be new, we can just tab and just ask. The ask mode is also good. So I will recommend, like, it's there for a reason. So you can ask it about the how everything is set up in your project. So say, for example, big red flags are like, say, if everything's in vanilla JavaScript and you're not using React, that would be a big red flag, right? So switching to these modes and then just asking, okay, what kind of architecture are we using? That kind of helps. But yeah, have you gone through some modes like this before in the past?
Well, yeah, certainly. This is very similar to Cursor interface. They have these bunch of modes that you can use. And then when I switched to Claude Code, there were only like 3 modes. It was plan, debug, and then the skip permissions one.
Yeah, which we all use. And I think it's interesting that you brought up Cursor along with this as well, because Cursor is one of the easiest ways because you have full access to your mouse and keyboard and you can look at the files and stuff. But the interesting trend right now is that everyone's moving away. We're going back to 95, like Windows 95 era. And I think the biggest reason for that is because anything with command line, so anything that's like command line here, what's convenient about it is that you can eventually call your agent to use it too, right? So I feel like this is why it's like a little bit, there's a reason to learn this at this current point, which is like, it looks intimidating, but it's really not. Like, it's really just like displaying, okay, here's the issue, what's a code spot that's being changed, and how the debug is actually working right now. So it actually found there's a folder ID issue that wasn't handled, and then it's going to change the code for me. So yeah, so on Cursor, yes, you get development panel and everything here, but here you get it in hacker style.
Would you say is more composable to have your projects being coded onto KiloCode versus on Cursor? Because you said your agents can work on it anytime.
So is it more composable? I would say yes. And also, I feel like what we're doing is we're building a skill set that's very usable for the next iteration of releases. So I hate quoting Andre Kaparfi here, but he's really talking about the future is command line. And it is true in the sense that a lot of people are going to write for command line and for using these tools in the future. So why not learn now? Like, it sounds weird, but you're kind of integrating yourself into 2026 culture. So I think that's kind of the main reason to do it. So going back to KiloCode again, just a quick overview. So me, I like to charge in first and go in there. So far on KiloCode, open sourced, great community, command line, but you can also run it inside VS Code if you want. They have 0 markup on keys, and they have their own kind of keys as well for that. So you can bring your own key or do anything. For me personally, as you know, I'm on the cheap Minimax plan, and I think that's more than enough. And they have the agent debugs modes, which is really useful because, yet again, having an architect helps, and then doing the orchestration helps. I think there's one question that you asked very early on, like, what is the difference between this and Claude Code, right? I think that was a very, very big question. And I think it's something good to tackle. It's just something that I've done a lot of research over time as well. So we do have Claude loaded on this. So CD box 95, Claude. So Claude Code almost looks the same, right? It looks like this. It's, it's also a command line there. We set it up with Minimax 2.7, but it works a lot better with Claude Opus. So I will say this, right? So Claude Code is really, really good at tackling really big problems. Okay, so if you're starting a new project out, like just say, for example, I did the Box 95 website, and I started off as a very big project, and it was started off by my agent, but I need to fix the stuff that the agent didn't do very well. So such as understanding that, well, like I can't put it in simple terms. I think the easiest one is just actually say it. So it didn't use React. It didn't have state management. So it put everything in a 1,500 line file, which is unworkable with AI. So when I would use Claude to tackle like a very big problem like that, because it's an expert task. It requires a lot of intelligence to just like gut everything and take out what is necessary. But if you're on a day-to-day maintenance or developing a minor feature or even a major feature, I would say that's where KiloCode code kind of shines a little bit more here. I think this is a diagram that is relatively useful. So if you're doing entry, all right, KiloCode can actually be less than this, all right? I would say entry or free, KiloCode can be less. And especially if you're on like a pro and you bring your key, you can do it for even less than $49. A mini max key is like $15, $10. You can use a $10 key and just burn it a night.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps you kind of bridge the gap. But when you're on like full on expert, mode, then I think that they are kind of parallel. Maybe with Claude Code, like if you're in the Claude ecosystem, then Claude understands Claude Opus a little bit better. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of the gist.
I think that's a nice takeaway, right? Like Claude Code, because it's with Claude,
yes,
that's one ecosystem.
Yeah,
and it kind of makes sense that they're closed source.
Yeah, right? They're closed source. You don't know what's happening. But that being said, Anthropic's really good at what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right.
So they gotta charge.
They gotta charge you money. So if you're stuck in that ecosystem, you have no freedom moving out, which is why a lot of open source guys want to get like with KiloCode, because you can bring your own key and it's open source, so you know what's going on.
Yeah, this sounds really cool. Like I think I'll be using KiloCode with Minimax. I think that's a very cost efficient way, because I think a lot of people here are overlooking the span of their operation in weeks, months. I think they just view 1 day, 2 day, and then they're like, oh yeah. But they never consider the cost of long term.
And I think this is something that you're building towards, because like on this channel, we're trying to make AI that works, right? And the biggest challenge that we see is the learning curve is there, and the cost can get out of control. But the good thing is, like, we have competitors. Like if we I would say like a year ago, we didn't have all these weird Chinese models popping in and out. So the big guys, like there was like the enterprise OpenAI plan, I was charging you $5,000 to $1,000, right? But those plans really got removed once the Chinese competitors came out. So we're at a very exciting stage right now. And having KiloCode means can bring anything, whatever new models, GLM5. I think a lot of people are commenting that, like GLM5, throw that in. That's like $5. Like I thought 15 was the new norm. No, 5. So there's going to be a lot more excitement, but I definitely encourage you guys, if you guys are doing anything serious with your projects beyond just like simple assistant work, anything that touches any bit of code, try out KiloCode. Tell me how it goes. If you guys have a big wallet, fat wallet, try out Claude Code, see how that goes. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one.
Peace.